Second Harvest. Take one.
Welcome to Storytellers. That was Second Harvest with their song Where Are You Now. We'll be having a chat with them and they'll be talking to us about their favourite songs and why. But first, it's a Smith song. Stop me if you've heard this before. That was the Smiths. We have Luke Clark and Shane Byrne and Shane O'Rourke here to talk to us about their band and many other things. How you doing, lads?
Good. It's pretty good.
How are you?
Not too bad.
Tired, man.
Tired?
Tired, yeah.
What makes you tired?
Life.
Women.
No.
But it's
Late
Christmas,
nights.
you should be all happy, lads.
Christmas.
Exactamundo.
Christmas.
Are you
I'm
all set?
going to Cavan for Christmas, man. Cavan.
You're going to cabin?
Yeah, man. I like my dad has a house beside a big field, so
Oh, nice.
I reckon when we'll have a second harvest weekend, we jam in the attic or something because the attic is huge, man.
Oh,
We
yeah.
should have a field party.
Sounds good. Are you all set for Christmas or?
100%.
I-
We're all
I-
different.
I'm waiting to get paid. Like I don't get paid until the 27th, and Christmas is the 25th. So
I don't even
yeah.
get paid.
hello January
I'm-
sales and all that jazz, lads.
I'm screwed.
Is this your first band, Second Harvest, or is this a new
Do you want to go
project? or-
first?
Me myself. No, I've been active with music.
This is Shane, by the way.
Yeah, Shane.
Yes. Sorry. I've been in band since I was about 13, 14 years old, I think. Never had any serious progress with them, but I think that the band with Luke, Second Harvest, is going to go places because we have very similar musical inspirations and would like to do the same things. So I feel it's really going to benefit us both. So hope for the best and keep going.
Yeah, the song you played sounds very, very
Man,
good.
we wrote it this morning.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
funny
We
story.
running around, like literally me and Shane went around the whole college just looking for a room. We went into some room and some teacher came in and goes, "Here, we're trying to do an exam next door," and it's kind of getting to their heads. And it was like, "Okay, our music is that bad, is it?" Like, so we went around the whole college, and we eventually found Jacinta. Shout out to Jacinta. She found us a room and told us that I think Declan's one of your people. He let us into the room. Or they let us into the room that he wasn't using. So cool. So we went in there and we just jammed it out, and it was like literally just wrote down lyrics on my phone. I actually hadn't even written them down. I mean, they just came from my head, man. Like, and then just went from there. Like, you know. So hopefully get a full band behind it, and then a bit of violin or something. You know yourself.
And is that how you always write songs, or is there any method to it?
There's not really method. I just write. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I escaped the writer's block, and I think Shane just kind of opened my mind to my music again, like the lyrics, like, you know, and it's weird, you know. Yeah, like a key, Shane. This is Shane Squared over here. He's
I'm
after
Shane
getting his
Squared.
hair dyed, and he looks real like.
I've got my hair
cool.
slicked
He's has
back.
a big slick
There's
back and all.
two Shanes, by the way.
Gotta get that.
Don't make
greaser
that
look.
mistake.
Two Shane Bourne and Shane O'Rourke.
Shane squared.
This is Shane
Squared.
Byrne. Have you been in any bands in your life?
Yeah, I've been. My whole musical experience with bands and stuff. I started off with one, and then 2 or 3 people dropped out of it, but we kept going. And then we took 2 people on, so it was kind of like evolution of the band. We never really made much progress because most of the time, instead of practicing, we do about a half an hour practice and 3 hours of drinking. It's pretty much it. Destroyed me.
Seems like that goes with a lot of bands. The whole scene has gone that way. Is it hard for you to get people to go to your gigs now?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I like my personal opinion is, this is just me now, that it's a lot harder for bands to make it in the industry these days as opposed to 20, 30 years ago, because there's so many people now, so much people, as opposed to, you know, the one natural talent that you had that was stand above everyone. Everyone is such good. There's so many good musicians out there.
I know, I completely agree.
And there's only a percentage amount of people that make it, and that's why you have to be nearly different. You have to have your own unique thing going for your band and individually. Just something that is, for example, a song that keeps you interested for 3-4 minutes non-stop, and that's all it's gonna. That's what's gonna attract you.
For a song to do successfully, in my opinion, is like, it had to be universal. Like, you want to have people like Oasis, like, you know how much I love them, man. Most of their songs are like universal, like, you know what I mean. People, anybody in the world could just take different kind of meanings from it and like use it on their own life. It's like, that's what we want. Like, we want. Well, with the lyrics I write it anyway, I make sure that anybody can kind of just relate to them, and it helps them. Like, you know what I mean. I'm all about helping people.
So
you know
what
what
exactly would you write about, Luke?
Anything, man. If I'm having a shit day, I'll write about having a shit day. Like, you know what I mean. If I'm having a great day, I'll write about having a great day. But I just can't just sit there and say, "Hey, I want to write a song." Sometimes they just come to me, like, you know. It's like, I don't know, some sort of, I don't know, a word vomit, but it's not. It doesn't just splash everywhere. Right? It just turns into poetry, and then as soon as I think of like if I have a guitarist or something there or a piano in front of me, I just put it there. It just happens, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know.
If someone was to come up to you, I'm gonna base this question with the three of us.
Yeah.
I'll start with Luke first. If there was someone to come up to you and say, I need advice on how to write a good song, what would you say to them? How would you go about doing that?
How would you write a good song? Well, there's no real definition for a good song. Like, everyone has their own real different opinions of it. Like, you know, as I said, once a song is universal, I think that's a great song. But like, anyone could have their own opinion. Like, you know, so I just tell them to. I know it sounds cheesy and stuff. Like, just write what they feel. You know, put it out to words. Listen to other influences of themselves. Like, I don't just listen to Oasis. Like, I listen to the likes of Journey and who write incredible love songs. I wrote incredible love songs. I listen to the likes of Jim Morrison. I listen to a bit of John Lennon, and, like, you know, I just take it and just put my own stuff in it. So don't just take bits of other great songwriters and mix them with your own experiences and then put it to paper, and it'll work. Like, you know, but you wanna just keep trying. And if they start off, your lyrics are crap at the start. Everyone's lyrics are crap at the start. No one just writes a perfect song as soon as they put pen to paper. It takes a lot of work, like everything. You've got to have the good work ethic to make it. That's the truth. So,
and this goes for Shane O'Rourke. Shane, you're a guitarist, obviously. How do you go about writing a song? Because you have to fit the melody around the person's voice and make that guitar sound completely original. Because there's so many guitarists out there, as you know. How would you go about doing that?
I nearly mirror everything Luke just said in terms of influence and how you're feeling at the time. Like, with the lyrics especially, has a huge contribution to what the guitar is going to sound like. Like, if Luke came up to me and, you know, he comes up to the song, it's like, this is really, really angry. This is a really angry song. You know, you're going to have to make things sound a bit, heavy and angry.
I have to make my guitar sound angry.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
But
then Luke came up to me like today, and he Luke as a person is real. You know, he's deep and he's heartfelt and has strong emotions. So the songs that I'd write with Luke would be that kind of style, if you understand.
Yeah, I understand.
You know,
yeah.
But also, if I'm listening to, like, one of my favorite guitarists, like Brian Mayer Slash, they're the guys who influenced me to pick up the guitar. I'd listen to the way they wrote their songs, so the emotion comes out in the guitar, and that's the thing I find with the guitar. When you pick up a guitar, you're feeling a certain way, and you're going to play how you feel automatically, and that's how songs develop. But just true improvisation, spending hours up in your bedroom or wherever you might be jamming, and things will just come forward. You'll just learn how to talk, and it'll just go from there. And then, you know, something comes up. Oh, that's a good idea. What's that? Try and remember that. Write that down. Record it. Then bring it to the band or whoever that might be and propose it, and then it could go somewhere from there.
Shane,
Well,
how would you go about doing it?
Yeah, sorry, I was reading a Christmas poem. And
trying to read the Christmas poem out.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, go on, read it for the crack.
What?
Read
No.
it.
Okay, no.
You have one of them
Hold on.
voices.
Shane himself
I
is the
have one of them
bassist,
voices.
and he's playing Egg Shaker for us now.
Yeah, I'm the Eggman.
I can relate with you on this one because I play bass as well. So how would you go about making it?
Basically, like the way I see it is, I never try to write a good song. The only way I can see if a song is good is if I can, like, play it, record it, listen to it, think, oh yeah, that was pretty good. If I can listen to that like a few days, weeks, even a month later, and still have the same reaction, I say, yeah, that was still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'd count that as a win. But, like,
That's actually really cool.
you'd have an experience, and you'd have that in your head, and it's literally just like pen in hand.
He sounds like a producer, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Sounds like
no.
that. You should be doing producing, man.
Oh,
Switch
great.
sheets there, lads.
Yeah. Oh, give me some paper and pen. But it's just the kind of thing, like, it's kind of like you're using your pen as like a method of, like, putting the experience and your emotion, like, flowing through it and just, like, putting it on pen and paper, just so, like, it can be physical and not something that's, like, inside you and inside your head. So it's actually something that's there, and you can, like, play it out. It sounds good.
So what influence do you have as a bass player? What type of bands?
Basically, I started off listening to Michael Jackson and stuff like that when I was a kid, but over the years, like, I think when I became like 13 or 14, I started listening to Fall Out Boy just, like, non-stop. And it's because of them that they made me, like, want to pick up a bass and start playing bass. And Still playing bass.
You have the privilege of picking the first song. What is
All
it?
right. Fall Out Boy, Young Volcanoes.
This is Fall Out Boy, Young Volcanoes.
Awesome.
When Rome's in ruins, we are the lions, free of the Colosseums. In poison places, we are anti-venom. We're the beginning of the end. Tonight, the foxes hunt the hounds. It's all over now, before it has begun. We've already won. We are wild. We are like young volcanoes. We are wild. Americana, exotica. Do you wanna feel a little beautiful, baby? Come on, make it easy. Say I never mattered. Run it up the flagpole. We will teach you how to make boys next door out of assholes. Tonight, the foxes hunt the hounds. And it's all over now, before it has begun. We've already won. We are wild. We are like young volcanoes. We are wild. Americana, exotica. Do you wanna feel a little beautiful, baby? We are wild. We are like young volcanoes. We are wild. Americana, exotica. Do you wanna feel a little beautiful, baby?
Welcome back to Storytellers with me, Michael MacNamee. We have Second Harvest in today for a chat. We also have a Tala Person of the Year nominee, Luke Clerkin. Luke, tell us a bit about that.
Oh man, it was surreal. Like, you know what I mean? I came home from college one day and someone told me I got nominated for Tala Person of the Year, and I was like, no, I didn't. It's like, that's not me. I didn't do that. Yeah, basically, they voted for me because I do a lot of work for charity and I do a lot of work for the community and in town and stuff like that. So I work for a charity called Teen Line Ireland. Teen Line Ireland is a helpline for teenagers, so it's free phone, it's confidential and stuff like that. It's like 1-800-833-634 if anyone's listening and needs to talk to someone. Teen Line are there for you, you know. It started off I set up an event for a Teen Line, and then I went to record. I recorded a single for them because I've been diagnosed with depression 2 years ago, and I wanted to do something for the same people who were going through the same things as me, like, you know. So I decided to go to a charity, and that was that. Went from there. We recorded a single. I did a lot of busking at the start. We just did it to raise money for the single so we could pay for it, and then we just decided, like, here, why not do it for the charity? Say 6-7 months later, we raised $4,000 for the charity. Within going out like nearly every Saturday during the summer. From February, we bussed in the snow, we bussed in the rain, we bussed in the sun, and I was still wearing my big green jacket. And it was just it was great, like, you know what I mean? It's a great experience. So I didn't do it to get recognition for anything. I just did it to help people, and the fact that I got nominated, I was in the same category as Maureen Bulger, who was the founder of Teen Line. Her son is the reason why she started Teen Line. He committed suicide when he was 16, like, you know. So to be in the same category as her, she's like my second mother, and I think I'll always say that, like, you know, to be in the same category, it meant it was great, but I didn't want to win it because I wanted her to win it, and she won it, and it was fantastic. So, like, here I am now, I'm in Ballyfermot, and I'm just back to doing music, like, you know what I mean? So I just...
And the single Never Alone, were you surprised with the success it generated?
Yeah, I was, because the fact that a lot of people just, like, recognise me for something like that, I was like, say 2 years ago, I would have been sitting in a pub, fucking falling out of the nightclub, falling out of nightclubs and stuff like that. To realise that I've turned my life around, and to come this far is fantastic. Like, you know, it's like it's weird. Like, as I said again, it's surreal, and it's just mad. I don't know.
And how did that help you turn your life around?
I don't know, the feeling of helping people. Like, I don't know. It just, I don't know. When I gave up drinking and stuff like that, it was a different kind of thing. Like, I needed something to do, and the fact that when I found music again, that's what helped me be kind of positive about everything. Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, I found the power of music helped me, so I knew I was going to be able to help people with the power of music. Like, you know, that's what he's doing, just fiddling with each other or something. Oh, yeah. Anyway, back to
Shane, get your hand off my knee.
Yeah. And anyway, yeah. So yeah. It's weird. It's just I could never expect to have done any of this. Like, and I'm gonna do a lot more for other charities and for Teen Line, and a lot more stuff. Like, and expect to hear a lot more about Second Harvest. Like, we're only started, like, literally properly today, and, you know, it's gonna be huge. And come along for the ride, everyone. Yous are all welcome. If we go far, we're not gonna leave anyone behind. Like, you know.
So that was the first song you properly.
That was the first song literally written today. Like, I've got loads of sets of lyrics at home, but see how it happens with them. Like, you know, I can just come up with lyrics anyway, like, not a bother. So we'll see how it goes, like, you know.
And during that time, what type of bands were you listening to that helped you get over your...
I have to say Oasis again, like, you know.
Yeah.
Live Forever was a song that helped me as well, and like, obviously, what got me introduced to Oasis was, like, Wonderwall. So yeah, like, those songs, they spoke to me. So yeah, so listen to Wonderwall. Wonderwall's a fantastic song. It's probably the most overused busking song, and we made that obvious because, like, we used it a lot. But yeah, it's a great song, and it's universal. I'm gonna use that word a lot. So yeah,
it definitely is. This is Oasis, and this is Wonderwall.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. 'Cause maybe
That was Oasis with Wonderwall from the 1995 record What's the Story, Morning Glory. Anyway, we're going to move on. We're going to talk to Shane O'Raw. Luke is gone. He's gone for a cup of tea or something, isn't he?
Luke's gone.
Yeah, Luke's
Bye
gone.
bye,
He's
Luke.
after disappearing.
Bye bye, Luke.
Anyway, we'll get on to
We're
Shane.
not good enough.
Shane is obviously the guitarist. We're going to talk a bit about your influences because we've talked about the other two lads' influences. We're going to talk about your influences. You've Lizzie here. You've Tin Lizzie here.
Yeah.
Obviously, Irish bands.
Yeah, man.
They made it and all that, and it's hard to make it proper in a small island like this.
Exactly.
I have a question here for you. If you could be in one of your favourite bands that plays the style of music, what would it be?
Most likely Lizzie.
Most likely Lizzie.
Pretty much, yeah, Lizzie.
And tell us a bit about Lizzie and why they influenced you. And
Well, Lizzie were probably the first band I ever listened to when I was about 3 years old. Them and Queen, of course, but just listen to Tin Lizzie's guitar, the harmonies, that the boys are back in town, the typical riff. It's just great, and just how licks on the guitar can connect with you and make you feel. And that's why then you just you listen to more, and that's how any band attracts. One good song, you're like, I like this, I want more.
what I noticed with Lizzie is they're very known for what I call them the clicks. They just have that drum click at the end. They do it in Renegade and a few other songs, and it's like
Brian Downey,
unbelievable.
what a man.
Yeah,
What a man.
He's like one of the best drummers I've ever heard. He has to be.
He's one of them people that are underrated. The music industry's crazy, man. Like Brian Downey, like he's not known. I mean, he's known, but you could ask loads of people who's the
Brian Downey
of course,
is very, very, very
Scott Gurm, Gary Moore, Brian Robertson, John Sykes, so many amazing musicians, guitarists and drummers came from Tin Lizzie.
Actually, out of all the guitarists Lizzie had, who would be your favourite?
It's a really difficult one. See, when I was 15, 16 years old, when I was getting serious into my music, serious into my guitar, I listened to a lot of heavy metal. I was, gunmetal grey. It was Metallica, Megadeth. I had the long hair, was wearing the black clothes. So the later era of Tin Lizzie really influenced me. The Thunder and Lightning. And John Sykes and Scott Gurm was in lineup at the time, and John Sykes came from Whitesnake. So I was very into that kind of 80s shred kind of real fast guitar, high gain driven riffs. If I had to pick a personal favourite, definitely my favourite lineup of guitarists would have been Scott Gurm and John Sykes, the 1983.
And they're well known for their guitar lineups.
Yeah, of course.
The harmonising, especially.
Ridiculous, man.
A lot of bands try to emulate that.
Yeah.
Especially now. I know Kings of Leon have tried to emulate that with their with the drumming, as the drummer does with the clicks and stuff like that. And the Strokes actually have based a lot of their stuff around the guitarist with the harmonising. What do you think of that?
I find that a lot of bands do try mimic the greats, and some of them can pull it off and some of them can't, and I'm not going to criticize or anything, but that's just what I think of them kind of modern bands. They either can or can't do it, and it depends on the song, whereas bands like Tin Lizzie will always be able to do it, and it's always going to suit them because it's them. But you're obviously going to try play your influence no matter what band you are, but it's just how you get it right, and that's what counts, I think.
It was just a revolutionary thing they did. It was unheard of.
100%, yeah. I think Scott Gurm actually discovered that harmony by using a delay pedal.
Okay.
He was playing the Boys Are Back in Town, the first riff.
Yeah.
And he had a delay pedal, and so I played back to him over when he went down on the major scale, if we're going into guitar theory here. But as he went down in the scale, the previous one overlapped and harmonised with it. And that's how we discovered it. And that's how we discovered the first harmony of Boys Are Back in Town, just down to a delay pedal through an amp.
That's crazy.
And he goes, here, Brian Robertson, the guitarist at the time, play this together and see what happens.
Amazing.
And there you go. Yeah.
And what Lizzie song are you going to play for us?
Waiting for an Alibi today.
Yeah, Waiting for an Alibi on Storytellers by Tin Lizzie.
Valentino got a bookie shop, and what he takes he gives for what he's got, and what he's got he says he has not stole from anyone. It's not that he don't tell the truth, or even that he misspent his youth. It's just he holds the proof, but you know something's wrong. Waiting for an alibi. Waiting for an alibi. Waiting for an alibi. Waiting for an alibi. Valentino's in a cold sweat. Placed all his money on that last bet. Gets all the odds, he smokes another cigarette. Says it helped him to forget he's a nervous wreck. It's not that he misses much, or even that he lost his lucky touch. It's just he gambles so much, and you know that it's wrong. Waiting for an alibi. Waiting for an alibi. Waiting just to catch your eye. Waiting for an alibi. Waiting for an alibi. Say I told you, I told you. Waiting for an alibi. Waiting just to catch you. Waiting for an alibi. Waiting for an alibi. To say I told you. Waiting for an alibi. Waiting for an alibi. Oh my, 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 my.
Hello.
Tin Lizzy, Waiting for an Alibi. We have Luke back, and he's going to play us a song. What are you going to play for us, Luke?
Yeah, I'm just gonna play "Live Forever." I mentioned it earlier, and unfortunately we didn't have it there, so I'm just gonna do my own kind of cover of it.
I'll take it away.
So thanks. Maybe I don't really wanna know how you got enrolled, 'cause I just wanna fly. Lately, did you ever feel the pain
doesn't like fresh, homemade blueberry muffins? But these days, how many busy people have the time to bake? Mrs. Mulligan does, and that's why Mrs. Mulligan's Muffin Shop is so popular. Mrs. Mulligan's bakers prepare delicious, homemade muffins, fresh, every day. Blueberry Royal, Cinnamon Apple Crisp, Banana Nut Nugget, and more than 24 other varieties, all baked to perfection. Take a taste treat home tonight from your nearest Mrs. Mulligan's Muffin Shop.
Hello and welcome back to Storytellers. That was Luke. That was excellent, Luke.
Cheers, man.
It's a different kind of version to it.
Yeah, man. It's just, I don't know. I kind of put myself into this song.
Still sounded great.
Yeah, how do you come about doing a cover and making it your own? How do you do that?
You just want to make it sound different. Covers, if you're gonna do a cover, never do the same as the artist because then you're just trying to be a copycat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to. I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest. I just play it and I just tap it. I kind of, because that song, as I said, like it means a lot to me, and it helped me through a lot of hard times, you know. So I think it's because of that I'm able to put so much emotion into it, and I'm not Liam Gallagher with my swagger or anything, like, you know what I mean. I'm just a person playing a guitar. That's all that's it, like, you know.
And some artists don't like playing covers.
I really don't like it myself. I'd rather write my own songs. Yeah, but the only reason I play songs that mean something to me, you know what I mean. I'll play a cover only if it means something to me, you know.
But people, every time you go to normal music fans, go to see a gig. I'm not singling out anyone here, but like they go see a gig and they want to hear covers. They want to hear things they hear on the radio or whatever. But you don't like playing it. What about you, lads? Do you like playing covers?
I don't really mind. Like a few gigs that I have played, like they were like really small intimate gigs in like a small local pub in my town. But like I remember one guy he was really drunk and he kept shouting like Wonderwall, that one by Oasis. And we just looked back at the last and goes, do you guys know how to play this? And we're like, yeah. He goes, alright, fuck it, we'll just knock it out.
Yeah.
And the one guy, no one else gave a shit. He was just going mad about it and goes, yeah, go on, my son.
You hear that all the time.
Yeah.
What about you? Other Shane.
I always think that if you're playing a gig, I think that at least one or two cover songs are usually important in a set list, because, you know, the people are standing around for the full gig watching the band playing, and you know, they listen to your own songs. There's people going to be clicking their fingers and moving or whatever, just be like, yeah, it's pretty good. But if you walk into something that's a really, really popular song, everyone can move and everyone can sing and everyone can jump around, and then, you know, straight away you have people talking. You're like, my God, this band, they did a real cover of such and such a song, and oh my God, it was so good. And then you should hear their own songs as well. They were like even better. Blah blah blah. It just goes with word of mouth from there. So I'd always consider doing at least one or two cover songs in a set list that are as popular to the target audience, the people that are playing.
The rule is you have to
make it your own.
Oh, of course, like you do, yeah. I 100% agree with that. 100%. It's just that you need to include some covers, I think.
Yeah, of course. Setlist wise, when you have your covers and you have your original songs, how do you go by putting them in order? Do you sit down and go, this goes here, this goes there, or do you just think, fuck it?
If you're gonna do covers, start off with a cover.
Yeah.
Just then do a load of originals and maybe finish on an original, but second last song should be a cover. You know what I mean? But have at least two covers in your set if you're gonna do it. I know I said I don't like doing it, but like if I'm in a band, it's not just up to me; it's the band's choice. You know what I mean? So
I always thought it was really good when if you do have a set list, like it's not a kind of thing like one song, then a cut, then another song. It'd be really good if like a few times, like between 2 or 3 songs, instead of like you just have a break between them, if they kind of like flowed almost as if they made like 3 songs into like one huge like version of a song.
A mashup.
Yeah.
I've got a mashup.
Melody.
We get mashup. Yeah.
Okay. A year from this day, okay, a year on, where do you see Second Harvest? Where do you want Second Harvest to be?
It's a mad question, isn't it? I hope to have an EP recorded for us, like
100%.
Yeah. Maybe signed to some sort of indie label. I think indie labels are the way forward nowadays. Like, you know, and even create our own label. Like, you know, we can. Artist labels are like a common thing nowadays. And with the advantages of the internet. We can do it ourselves, like, you know what I mean? We can do what Arctic Monkeys did. Arctic Monkeys basically, the reason why they're so big is because they gave out free singles.
Oh yeah.
At their gigs. They gave out free copies, and well, that's what we do. Get something recorded. It doesn't matter how much it costs us. If we give it to fans, like knowing we have fans is worth more than any money, like, you know what I mean?
And other than that, it's going to continue on the Irish music scene. Who are you listening to at the moment in the Irish music scene? Or are you listening to anyone?
I listen to. And now and then I listen to a bit of Codeline and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Codeline are fantastic.
Skyrocketing at the moment.
They're
Yeah.
doing really well.
Yeah. They are good.
And I
They're a great
heard
band,
one of their songs being played on the X Factor, like one of their like, you know, you've made it when you're on the X Factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know when it's when someone's backstory and you have your song. I mean, that's when you've made it. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I despise the X Factor and fuck Simon Cowell and stuff like that. But yeah, so they're pretty good. There's a lot of other bands. I listened to a band. I went to see them live a couple of weeks ago. They're called Come On Live Long.
Yeah.
Fantastic, absolutely just amazing. They blew my mind, and I literally after one of the songs I was like, fucking hell. And the singer just looked at me and I was like, fucking hell. you know, and he just looked at me and kind of gave me a nod. And it was like Jim Morrison reincarnate or something. Like he was on stage and his eyes rolled back and it was like he was having an outer body experience or something. I was like, I want that, man. So I left Clover Coast and here I am now, 2 weeks later with a new band.
And a new song.
Yeah, man. It's like.
What about you, lads? What about you?
I'd be Codeline as well at the moment. Also, recently I was introduced by my girlfriend to Hudson Taylor, and we went to see them last Thursday there in the Academy, and they are going to absolutely skyrocket. And you can tell by the music they're playing at the moment, it's going to be huge. Like their anthems, there are people's like full audiences singing their song back to them, which is nearly every musician's dream. But they put on a really fantastic show and they have great songs. Like about 2 years ago they were busking on the streets of Dublin, and now they're headlining the Academy like 2 years later.
That's crazy.
And that's what it says, how much you can do.
I've heard a few of their stuff. No, I wouldn't know them by name.
Sort of a kind of YouTube sensation kind of thing, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
started off with like Orla Gartland.
Yeah,
He's another fantastic
Then
singer.
they also just came back from supporting Codeline on their tour. Like what an opportunity that is. Yeah, they're doing really well, and they said they're currently recording their first album. But from being picked up from YouTube, the whole YouTube sensation thing, you know, the Justin Bieber whatever kind of stuff. But I mean, to have an Irish band that's been picked up from YouTube, two brothers, you know, George Almond away on YouTube. Something happens, you know, you get seen, and it actually can happen, you know.
One of our friends used to bus with them. You know Pee-wee, Shanners.
Oh yeah.
Shanners used to bus with them.
Oh, there you go.
I'll hopefully get Shanners on the show.
Yeah, he should, man.
Chat.
He's such a good lad. Such a good lad. Shane, what kind of do you listen to much Irish music?
Yeah, but mine's kind of like different. Like I don't know if you guys ever heard of like Jet Set Radio.
No, never.
No one ever does. But I remember I was with a few of my mates we were just strolling around. I think it was in DCU, and we were just walking past the NU bar, and we just heard this music, and we were like, this sounds really good. So we just like jumped in, and we're like, yeah, that's pretty good. And it's like it was like a completely like the crowd was everything. It was like a few mosh pits, some headbangers, but then it was just guys just flaking out, just fucking jumping around and stuff. But we just stayed there for the whole night and listened to them. We ended up like having a few chats with the band and became really good mates with them. And I keep listening to them. Like I asked them like, "Oh, are you guys going to be playing anywhere else?" And like if they are, like, "Oh yeah, I'll definitely be there." So I remember the first time I heard you and Kirsty singing, the first thing I thought of was, "Wow, that voice is just sexy." I was like, gotta listen to this more.
And we were on the YouTube thing. Do you think that's a good thing, or do you think that's a negative thing? The way bands are just able to just play one song and skyrocket.
It's good and negative. Really.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think there's positives to it and there is negatives to it.
There's some people. Do you ever hear a guy called Bri?
Yeah, I've heard.
Bri. He's not really much of a musician, and I don't care if he hears me say that. But he's a great person for what he's done. He does a lot of stuff for mental health and stuff like that, and he uses the amount of like followers he has. He uses that to his advantage, and to the advantage of mental health, and he helps people with his videos. Like there's just loads of videos about being depressed and stuff like that. And he's great. He's a fucking fantastic person. he's not a good musician. So yeah.
Honesty.
Where would you be without it, man?
Exactly, yeah.
That's your policy, man.
I have a few questions before we finish up. There's a thing about the recession. Obviously the recession has affected us in Ireland.
Yes.
But musically, do you think has been affected?
That's another tough one.
It's
that
an
is.
N. Don't answer.
I'll try. Yeah, yes and no. Like, because there's a lot of local studio recordings. You know a guy that knows a guy, that kind of thing. Everyone's just kind of like, here, I'll give you a shout, this lad, come on in here, throw us 50 quid, it'll be grand, and then you can hopefully get it out.
He's doing a drug dealer. So.
Exactly, yeah.
Come on, boys, come on.
BCFE does not condone drug dealing.
And then you can hopefully get it from there, because then as soon as you have a little whatever CD together, you can give it to someone that again can give it to someone. But because it can sometimes be affordable. So like I said, yes and no, depends on the circumstance. That's my answer.
There's a lot of independent labels out there.
Yeah, exactly. On that subject as well. Yeah, because it's easy. It's not, when I say it's easy, people, people, and especially coming to here, it's really opened my eyes as a musician. I met Luke, and Luke knows people. He has connections. So from there, you nearly get things going, and it's just if you're good enough and if you're lucky, you can get there.
You're all doing music management in college.
Yeah.
Here. Tell us a bit about that. What's that entail?
First of all, Pete Holiday is a hero.
Oh, what a man.
Pete Holiday is a hero.
I agree.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pete.
We need to get Pete on the show.
Yeah,
We are.
really
Can I say one more thing? I think me and Luke have both agreed on this another one of the reasons why we're trying to make a living out of our music career is also in tribute to Pete, because he is one of the most influential people we've ever met in our lives.
I've only talked to Pete. I did an interview actually for the music management course, and I've only talked to him once. But from that interview, I came out smiling. The guy is
Incredible.
Isn't
he? Just an influence. He's so
He's
amazing.
Like,
we just sit there and
And he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Well, it's fuck like Mike when we like Pete, man.
But the show's coming to an end now.
Yeah.
We have time for one more song. I'm going to pick it. Is that all right, lads?
No
It's my
problem.
turn. It's my
We'll get to
turn.
know you now. This is where truth comes out.
I'm going to play a song from an Irish band. It's they're called Sweet Jane here, but they're actually called Buffalo Sun, and they're playing next Friday in the Workman's. This is I Want to Be in Love.
To be